Now at 6, how four-staters are reacting following the controversial decision by the U.S. Supreme Court today. We'll have regional reaction as well. Plus, authorities investigate a morning house fire in Joplin and how the United Way got out and helped a four-state community.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
I know so many women are now going to face incredibly difficult situations. I hear you. I support you. I stand with you.
A landmark decision from the Supreme Court could affect the future of women's health for millions. The Supreme Court has struck down Roe v. Wade, the case that legalized abortion nationwide. In Missouri, a trigger law that was already in place now effectively ends access to legal abortion in the state. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky is live at a rally just getting underway in Joplin protesting this.
Supreme Court decision, Julie Joplin Media organized this rally protesting Missouri's trigger law, essentially ending abortion in the state. The rally has just gotten underway. People are gathering here to discuss the next steps after this landmark ruling. Earlier, I spoke with Julie Joplin's editor-in-chief, who says this is meant to be a place where anyone can come and share resources or just support one another.
I really wanted to make sure that we had networks around the area, people that we can just turn to and go to whenever we need help or support, questions, a way to get to, a local appointment, at our local Planned Parenthood.
Now, abortion will only be legal in Missouri in the case of a medical emergency. Reporting live in Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Bronte Sorotsky, thank you. The trigger laws banning abortion take effect immediately in Missouri, and they're already pending a signature in both Arkansas and Oklahoma. In Kansas, voters will decide on August 2nd whether the state constitution protects the right to abortion. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri praises the ruling. He says he'll be glad to see states determine access to abortion.
In my lifetime, nothing that any voter in my state has ever voted on has mattered with regard to abortion because we've never had any say. And, the voters of Missouri and every other state, now what they decide on this is going to be law. And that's a big change.
Our very own Josh Hawley said that he would only support nominees to the Supreme Court that would overturn Roe v. Wade. And here we are today. The stripping away of fundamental rights of millions of Americans.
Governors in each of our states have released statements on the ruling. Missouri Governor Parson, a Republican, says in part, quote, "Today our efforts have produced what generations of Missourians have worked and prayed for. Today we have won our fight to protect innocent life." Oklahoma's Republican Governor Kevin Stitt released a statement saying in part, quote, "I am very excited that the Supreme Court made this courageous decision. I am proud to be called America's most pro-life governor, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the country following Oklahoma's lead to protect life." Arkansas Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson says on Twitter, quote, "For decades I have said Roe v. Wade was wrongly decided. Arkansas is a pro-life state, and we are able now to protect life." Kansas Governor Laura Kelly, the only Democrat among those four governors, says on Twitter, quote, "A woman's reproductive health care decision should be between her and her physician. I'll continue to oppose all regressive legislation that interferes with individual freedoms or threatens the strides we've made in recent years, making Kansas a constructive place to do business." To see more local and regional reaction to the Supreme Court decision, go online to KOAMnewsnow.com or download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge. Just search for KOAM News app. Authorities in Joplin are investigating the cause of a morning house fire. Firefighters responded to the fire at a home on North Jackson in the North Heights neighborhood around 9:15 this morning. Authorities say everyone got out of the home safely. Let's check in with Doug Hetty for our first look at the weather.
Well, it was blazing hot for us today. It still is outside. Temperatures hovering right below 100 degrees through most of the afternoon hours. Quite a bit of clear skies, even though we've had a few isolated little thunderstorms which have popped up just to our south and to our east. But it looks like we're going to stay dry as we go through the evening and the overnight hours tonight. Look at this, still mid to upper 90s across the region. Most of us have a heat index still clocking in at about 102. Upwards to about 105 throughout most of the four-state area. We're going to slide back through the 90s, 80s, only down to about 78 or 80 degrees for an overnight low tonight. Now, we do have some thunderstorms in the forecast, and we are going to cool off eventually. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, how the United Way is giving back to the four states today. Plus, look at a summer intern program in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Walmart gave back to the Joplin community today by giving out some grants. Joplin High School's Special Education Department received a combined $2,500 to go toward life skills classes and the school's Peer Buddy program. The funds will also be used to support special education needs at the high school, including clothing, hygiene items, and educational projects. 80 students are estimated to be enrolled in special education classes next year, and 180 students will be part of the Peer Buddy program. Local chapters of the United Way got out today for a day of action. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Friday is United's Way Day of Action, a day where local volunteers come out and help nonprofit organizations in Joplin and Pittsburgh. Teresa is one of the volunteers participating in United's Way Day to keep her community clean and beautiful.
You know, we just want to make our community nice. Joplin is a beautiful city, and we just want to help that and contribute to it.
United Way Day of Action has been making a difference in Southwest Missouri and Southeast Kansas for over 30 years. Hundreds of volunteers like Teresa are spread out at organizations throughout Joplin and Pittsburgh working on beautification projects.
Today we're weed eating, or basically not weed eating, but weeding. And so we're pulling weeds, and then I believe we're going to be laying down some mulch. Master gardeners take care of the inside of the beds, but we're working around the outside of the beds to make them presentable. You know, this is a hot time of the year. Not everybody wants to volunteer, but the work needs to be done. So we're out here giving it our best.
Despite it being over 90 degrees in Joplin, the fulfillment and pride Teresa feels after volunteering outweighs the heat. All the volunteers working out here know that their work is positively impacting the community.
You know, this is an opportunity for nonprofits to get maybe some of that landscaping done that they've had, you know, things kind of have grown up, and so they can get out and have volunteers help them control the landscape. We also have projects at Salvation Army where they're painting rooms. Again, it's projects, it's those things that a nonprofit operating on a limited budget maybe can't get to on a regular basis. And so having these volunteers come out from our business community is a huge benefit to our nonprofit community.
In Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Officials say more than 100 volunteers came out to help today. Wyandotte Nation is holding their Summer Youth Intern Program. The intern program is for tribal youth who are part of Wyandotte Nation. Assignments in the program range from education, fitness, elder services, even gaming. It also provides the opportunity to learn more about their heritage.
One of the key things of the program is just so the kids can really learn more about the tribe, learn more about their history, learn more what we do today. We're a sovereign government. You know, we operate a lot of different programs, such as the state of Oklahoma would operate to their citizens. We operate those same programs for our tribal citizens here in the area.
The participants must be ages 16 to 22 and be enrolled in high school or as a full-time college student. A little bit later, highlights from day 2 of the ABC Connie Mack World Series qualifier tournament in Joplin.
Plus another hot one for us on Saturday before we get some relief. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, super hot, super humid for us today. Temperatures right around 100 degrees, 98 to about 100. Heat index about 105 to 108 at times throughout the afternoon. Nice shot, Lander Chevrolet. This is our tower cam on southeast side. You can see those towering cumes off toward the south and to the east. A few thunderstorms down toward Table Rock. Everybody else is looking pretty good, minus the heat. Of course, it's way up there. It's still 97 in Carthage, 93 in Miami. Chanute at 98. Yates Center also sitting at 98 degrees. But we aren't alone, everybody. On the hot side, we got triple-digit heat out across central western Kansas down through parts of Oklahoma. You factor in the humidity, of course, you get the wonderful heat indices. It's after 6 p.m. and it still feels like it's 102, 104, 105 degrees. 7th and Range line, currently outside, sitting at 97. South winds, a little breezy, 10 to 15. Look at that heat index. It's still 104 throughout the evening hours. We slide back through the 90s, 80s. We only bottom out 78 to about 80 for an overnight low for us tonight. All right, let's go outside. Had a few random showers in northern counties earlier today. All afternoon, we've been pretty quiet, except a few isolated little thunderstorms that have been kind of sitting over toward Table Rock Lake, just to the south of Branson, just north of Harrison, Arkansas. Really any isolated thunderstorms this evening will stay to our south and to our east. So we look fine, but we are going to get some rain chances in here as we get into tomorrow late in the day and also tomorrow night. Tonight, pretty quiet, 78 to about 80 for an overnight low. Quick warm up, mid-90s by noon. And I think most of us will top out right around 100. So if you're going to Stockton Lake, about 100. Table Rock, probably about 96, 97. Grand Lake, right around 100, 102. A few little spotty little thunderstorms trying to pop up late in the day. 78 start, 94 by noon. High temp of 100. Slight chance for an isolated storm late. A little breezy, south winds at about 10 to 20. Tomorrow night, some scattered thunderstorms try to get going. We get a cold front that's going to roll through. If we have any storms, and this is kind of an if these will even pop up, I don't expect them to be too strong or severe. But scattered thunderstorms, at least chances, because we could use the rain, last into Sunday morning. All these would be gone by mid to late morning. And then I think Sunday afternoon looks pretty good. Going to have a lot of clouds, a little breezy, but high temps right around 80 degrees by the time we head into Sunday afternoon. All right, heat indices out there again tomorrow. If you are going to be outside, drink plenty of fluids. The heat index tomorrow about 107 to 108 during the afternoon hours, which is not very pleasant. All right, 100, 81 on Sunday. Look at Monday, 80 degrees. Overnight low down to 58, which is pretty good Monday night. Then a slow warming trend through the week. Some rain chances return with the 90s for the holiday weekend, which is just next weekend for the 4th of July holiday.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we can get some rain before that. It reduces the fire hazard for those fireworks on the 4th. And temps in the 80s early next week. Loving that.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, we're now broadcasting from a temporary transmitter lower on the tower as we prepare to put the new, more powerful transmitter up at the very top. Our signal is kind of glitchy right now for some of you. We know that. We are working on it. But when the project is finished, we're going to be broadcasting with more power than ever. So please just bear with us. Jacob here now with sports. Pitt State Athletics announces its 2022 Hall of Fame class.
There are 8 individuals heading into the PSU Hall of Fame this fall. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we've got a little local baseball. Pittsburgh Post 64 on the field today in Joplin. We'll have those highlights next. Well, tonight is game 4 of an 8-game road trip for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws face the Clarinda A's this evening, aiming for their 3rd win in 4 games. And Joplin is an even 9-9 coming into tonight's game. Clarinda is one of the best in the Mink League, going 13-4 in their first 17 games. That one will get started at 7. We'll have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. Well, today is day 2 of the ABC Connie Mack World Series Qualifier Tournament in Joplin. The Pittsburgh American Legion team hits the field today, facing the Houston Tigers out of Houston, Missouri. Post 64 aiming for their first win of the tournament after dropping their opener last night. First inning, Cameron Williamson deep to left for the triple. 2 score on that. Williamson drives in 6 today. Later, bases full for Nate Smith. He smacks it all the way to the fence in center. Another triple. All 3 base runners score. On to the fourth now. Post 64 loads the bases again. Ethan Rhodes through the gap. Patriots pouring it on. It's 9-0. And then they put up another big inning in the fifth. Rhodes again finding space in right center. All post 64 in this one. Literally, Pittsburgh wins it 16-0. Well, Pittsburgh State Athletics has announced its 2022 Hall of Fame class. 8 individuals will be inducted into the PSU Hall of Fame this fall. And one of those 8 is former Gorilla running back Caleb Farabi. Farabi was a 2-time All-American for Pitt State, playing from 2005 to 2008. Now, in his career, he rushed for more than 3,200 yards, which is the 7th most in PSU history. He also racked up 46 total touchdowns. Now, here's Farabi on earning his spot in the Pitt State Hall of Fame.
Super excited. Something I've been waiting for and something I'd hoped for when I was a child, and finally just one more dream came true. With an individual award, that comes sacrificed by other guys. So, my linemen, Travis Greer and Shane McGinnis and Martin Burke, Marcus Nelson, Mark Smith, who we all know, they could have thrown the ball a lot more, and they were asked to do different things sometimes. So I'm just fortunate to have those guys on my team.
St. Louis Cardinals open a series tonight against the rival Chicago Cubs. It's the second series of the season between the two teams. The Cards took 3 out of 5 from the Cubs in Chicago earlier this month. Now, this 3-game series is in St. Louis. First pitch for Game 1 will be at 7:15. The Kansas City Royals also in action tonight. They open a 3-game series at home against Oakland this evening. The Royals haven't been bad lately, winning 5 of their last 7. Zach Greinke throws the first pitch for Kansas City at 7:10. A pair of Kansas Jayhawks were taken in the first round of the NBA draft on Thursday night. Ochai Agbaji was taken 14th overall by the Cavaliers, while Christian Brown went 21st to the Denver Nuggets. Now, another draft news, Oklahoma City landed Gonzaga star Chet Holmgren with the 2nd overall pick. Holmgren posted 14 points, 10 rebounds, and nearly 4 blocks per game last season for the Zags. The 7-footer was an All-American and a first-team All-Conference pick in his one and only college season. Now, finally, a familiar face here, Northwest Missouri State's Trevor Hudgins is getting his shot at the NBA. Hudgins signed a 2-way deal last night with the Houston Rockets. He's definitely one of the best to ever do it in the MIAA. At Northwest Missouri, Hudgins was twice the Division II National Player of the Year and was the MIAA Conference Player of the Year in each of his final 3 seasons with the Bearcats. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Jack Storm served in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 1945. The Lamar, Missouri native received a Purple Heart, and we salute Private First Class Jack Storm, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have a look at sweeping gun legislation passed by Congress and now headed to the White House. Plus, it's been 1 year since the collapse of the Surfside, Florida condo, and the search for answers continues. An archaeologist discovered the remains of a pregnant tortoise among the ruins in Pompeii, Italy. Yeah, those stories, a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Sounds interesting. It's going to be hot for another day anyway.
Super hot for us tomorrow. High temp right around 100 degrees. Heat index 107, 108. Some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow night.
Final sports notes.
You can check out our full story with Caleb Farabi as well as the all 8 Pitt State Hall of Fame finalists later tonight on our website.
See you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.